Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, expectation however the flipping on these interwebs. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys episode number 3 of COD for Dummies, our weekly series where we here on the channel go through a match of the week and we look at a round of S&D or an entire hardpoint map, break it down, what the hell happened on the mini map. If you're new to Call of Duty, this is my offering for you guys to help you to get into competitive COD and understand it a little bit better. As you guys can see, I started this series exactly 14 days ago with a Paris Gentlemate series as well, going up against Toronto Koi. So, as you guys can see, I clearly like Paris Gentlemates. Each week, they seem to be the stars of COD for Dummies, right? With the exception of, well, there's only been 3 weeks. They're the stars of COD for Dummies in 2 of the 3 weeks. So, they're the stars. Yeah, let's give it to them. Anyways, speaking of let's give it to them, I'm going to give you guys this content. It's been a minute of me yapping. Just had to let you know what this is, set the stage, and now we're getting into the match.
Good play.
So, of course, you had the little Major 1 recap.
What are you doing? You're so nervous. For to win this,
How dare you?
it like erases their poor 3 weeks. I don't know that I agree with that. I don't think it erases it.
If they beat OpTic,
I don't think it erases all the bad they've had over 3 weeks. We'll see.
Okay,
You don't think
well,
this is as much
spoiler for you guys, they absolutely did not beat OpTic, so there's that. But today, we're going to watch how the map 1 and map 4 went down, because that's what we're focused on. We're looking at who made the plays, so as you guys can see, let's get into dissecting who's making the plays, right? You guys can see the Paris Gentlemate, of course, they spawned on P2 side, whereas OpTic Texas, they spawned on P4 side. We're coming back to another Colossus. We do Colossus a lot on this COD for Dummies series, so yeah, it's just a map that feeds great matches, right? So, looking at it, of course, you have Gentlemates holding the spawns for P1. Let's see if they change into P2. Let's fast forward, because P2 is usually a little bit more interesting. Okay, so OpTic, they were able to get a good amount of pressure. You see 5, Hook, of course, your entry player, he's on the flank. He's throwing the wrap to try to get the spawns, trying to wrap around. The more you push and pressure these new points, basically just to give you guys, if you're new, a rundown. If you're going to the next point, you want to start, why your teammates will tell you rotate in pubs, not to get ahead of myself, is because when you start pressuring the new point, it influences the game. If the other team is defending that point, when you start pressuring it, it basically influences the game to tell the game to spawn you and your team closer because you're applying pressure, you're winning the fights, and the game is saying, oh, these guys want P2. We should keep them close to P2 because they're starting to put in that work. So, yeah, that's how it basically works in a nutshell. So now you can see OpTic, they ran through at the end of the P1. They got most of the time in the P1. They won the lion's share of the time. And then Hook made the big play on the rotation, caught the 2 guys off guard that were still bolstering up P1 since they got close spawns. And if you have close spawns and you keep spawns, then the onus is on you to keep helping your teammates out on the hill, keep controlling, keep trying to spawn them out towards P3/P4, and then, yeah, Bob's your uncle.
Things have been a little weird
So,
already, so who knows?
OpTic, they have the P2. As you guys can see, you have 8 spawning in the back. Of course, that being Dashy. He's anchoring the spawns for you. He's getting in the time. You want your main AR typically to be playing more towards the back, trying to hold the spawns, trying to make sure that when the other team pushes and tries to flood the hill, that the game basically, in the way that it processes the logic, says, hey, you have a guy here who's keeping you as a team anchored towards this point, and you should spawn approximately around this point.
Versus the best in the league right now. That's just a glimpse of our former selves. As crazy that is to say, it was only a little bit ago, but right now it is all OpTic. You can see 9 kills in a row. P2 control. Hook is in.
So yeah, OpTic, they ran the P2. Mates, okay, let's see how mates break this. So, let's see how 2 gets through. Where's, oh, what the hell? Son. So 8 and 6, Shotzi and Dashy,
Guts and,
Oh, it's probably because Merc and Hook pushed up so far towards P1. Yeah, Maven even acknowledged it, deep in them guts. Yeah, deep in them guts and flipping the spawns. So, as you guys can see, Sib got the close spawn here at P2, and then he immediately starts pushing out. Well, he sits in the corner, immediately pushes out, get that kill on Hook, sits in the corner, gets his health back, tries to give his teammates a little bit of time to wrap, push the hill a little bit. Ghosty makes a big play, gets 2-piece in the hill. Merc, well, Hook cleans him up. And then, yeah, that's the P2. So, let's see who wins the rotation to P3, right? Let's track that, because at the end of this time, this garbage time, about 8 seconds left. Let's see, usually about 15 seconds when teams start rotating for the next hill. So, let's see what goes on there. So, we're 18 seconds. Paris crew, like, this is over. Let's just rotate to P3. You can see 4 is at P3. Envoy gets a big kill on Dashy in the rotation. That essentially secures them the rotation, and hopefully they can hold it to keep some of this time.
You know, I was kind of thinking about it, like, when's the last time we've seen him in this form? It was probably stage 1 last year, BO6.
Well, how many times have we seen them maybe lose a map 1 and win the next 3? It's happened several times this year, and that's due to the diversity of their maps, diversity of their strengths across the game modes as they continue. Oh,
damn.
Lead. Shotzi's movement is there. Ghosty
must have been the wind. All right, so that's P3. They hold it pretty much the whole time. Mates, I mean, they get some worthless scrap basically. So let's check out what's happening with the P4 roto, right? So P4, as you guys can see with that lock, is right here. P4 is like adjacent to P1, very close, right by statue. Go past statue a little bit, you're P1, P4, and then P2 is obviously, parallel to P4. So you have a little triangle right here, right? So bang, 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 little triangle setup. But yeah, so they rotate to P4, right? Mates are obviously here because they were getting farms, so they had more, like, I guess they were forced to flood the hill, right? So they're clearly spawning away from the hill, which means they're spawning closer to P4, just in fact. So this rotation should be relatively easy for them to make on the pivot, but 5 and 8 are spawning at P2, so that should make this play a little bit interesting. Usually P4 spawns for the dominant team, they spawn at P4, and the team that's coming off spawn usually spawns around P1, P2.
Pace, but like you need to play a tight setup and then take.
So you see they're pushing underground, they're pushing old, they're wrapping through the back, which is smart because they're trying to get those P4 spawns by pushing the back, pressuring the back, not just flooding through the front. If you flood through the front, the game's going to basically just be like, hey, you want to keep spawning adjacent to not the hill, right? So they're going to spawn you parallel to the hill instead of spawning you like proximally in a closer setting.
I've been a bad boy.
The lead does right now.
So 8 wraps around the back. Let's see if he gets some spawns with that wrap, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, Paris are able to hold on to those
Okay, so he does
after
get them
that.
spawns. He does get them spawns. So 8 pushes through. He gets 6 a weird spawn, as you guys saw. So Shotzi gets a weird spawn. He's in the hill by himself.
Shotzi was here. Just don't expect him to
Can't defend it. Merc gets shot in the back.
And now they'll try to get some time.
And then Paris, they have, as you can see, they have a really good hold. They can see everything, and they just have advantageous positioning. So unless OpTic has some insane gunny, this should be a Paris Gentlemate's hill. They should hold the rest of the scrap, and we should be able to just fast forward and not see any white in this little icon here.
They'll take this year.
I'll be damned. Alright, so what happens? So, okay, so it's a 3v2. Actually, it's about to be a 4v2 because Envoy's got taken out to play 3, which is, of course, Neptune. It looks like he's pushing through P1, probably trying to get that advantage looking over statue side to just pick them off. See how that goes for him. If someone peeks statue, okay, 8 and 5 both turned immediately. Damn. 8 and 5 turned so fast. What the hell? So Dashy and Hook are on some superhuman shit. They must have got that compound V.
Slump over the past 3 weeks, but yeah, chance.
Neptune gets Dashy. Hook, as you can see, he's trying to figure out where Nep is, but it's a 2v2 in the hill. Merc took out Sib first thing, so you have 1 and 4 off spawn. You have Envoy and Ghosty. Envoy's coming off spawn. Ghosty's going back to the hill. He backed down just a little bit.
Sib maybe the most Jekyll and Hyde
Envoy
player in the
gets
league
one.
currently. What Sib are we gonna get so far? Not
Merc
great.
gets one.
6 and 12, but you know the man
Sib
can
gets
turn it on.
Ghosty's
They're gonna
help.
need the best Sib,
They
but
get
they're
the
gonna
rest of
get
the
it done
scrap.
here. Now,
And then we're going to rotate to
there's
P1.
a crucial
And then
series
you
for
can
them to
see,
if
as
they
you guys can see, OpTic already have the advantageous setup for P1. Obviously, if you're not the team in P4, you should realistically be able to get a more advantageous setup going into P1.
Birmingham, let's go to listening now.
So the mates, they really just flood the hill here, and 4 wins his gunfight against 8, right? So Envoy kills, well, Envoy killed Shotzi, Ghost killed Merc, Neptune killed Hook, and then 4 versus 8 is right here, Envoy versus Dashy. Dashy wins it, but Neptune 3 gets the trade, of course. A lot of times when I watch Hardpoint, just to let you guys know, I watch the mini-map more than I watch on screen, so my eyes start here and they move here.
Downtime, one shot, Merc.
Go side P4, one shot shots either two.
Because it's a team-based game, it's a lot of times the information about how a play is going to develop, it's all here. Like, you can see this play developing, right? Like, the way 5 pushed on the stairs, you can see the way his arrows turn. Look at how 4's arrows turn, right? He's looking this way toward the hill. 5 is looking towards 4's ass cheeks. Goes up the stairs. 4 comes down. He's caught unawares. 5, bang. Who gets a freebie? Dashy pushes the hill. That's how you can tell based on the mini-map kind of what's going on, right? And then you see 2 and 3 rotating to get a fight with 6 because they know somebody's in the back. Nep gets 1 on the back. That's the more important thing. With 15 seconds to go, they got about 30 seconds from this hill, so you're pretty happy with that if you're Paris Gentlemates. You take the lion's share of P1 time. P1 is usually a pretty contest-heavy hill, and certainly if you break it, you're happy to get anything that you can take from that. They also are setting themselves up pretty well for P2 with that kill that Neptune got, but he just has to hold this back line against the advancing OpTic attack, especially considering that his team is spawning at P4.
They're on you,
Yeah, they're all spawning at P4. That's tough. So this should be a pretty easy OpTic start, right? You expect P1, them to leave one guy behind. You're moving to P2. Let one guy just get whatever scrap he can. When he dies, it is what it is. We move to next. So OpTic, they hold it. They hold P2. Let's see how mates break it, right? So they got the triangle of death going, and it looks like 3 people just won their ones. So 3 gets into a gunfight with Hook. Neptune versus Hook. Neptune kills Hook the first time. Neptune gets Hook on the flank again, sees him, catches him in a bad position. Then you got, of course, Sib getting one onto... I'm sorry, Ghosty getting one on Dashy, Shotzi getting one on Sib, and Ghosty trading out Shotzi. And that's how they break the hill. They have one guy, Merc, left in the hill. And then he gets cleaned up. And that should be some mates time. So OpTic, they're making the same play. Hook comes through the back, he gets Ghosty. Then for Sib, he pulls up. He's like, hey, gotta clear Hook out of our spawn so we can keep these spawns and keep spawning close, get this time, etc. So they know the rest of the OpTic players are most likely pushing from front, so they know if they win this one against Hook, then they're probably in a good position to secure the rest of this time.
One shot on the back.
Yeah, two on time.
Homeboy, one shot on the back.
So Dashy wins his 1 against Sib in the hill. He gets 2. Ghosty and Nep get the other 2. And that's the remainder of the time for mates. So that kill that Neptune got on Hook was pretty big in the grand scheme of things. Because Hook could have easily hit a route and made a play from where he was. But OpTic, they just broke it through the front. So, I mean, sometimes you can just win your ones and you'll just get time off of that, right? So, yeah, they won their ones right here. So they were able to get some of that scrap. So, looking at the next hill, we're going to P3 again. You can see OpTic, they had the initial setup. They were able to really hold that one down.
No, they can't.
What stood out to me, I feel like...
Okay, so P3, they're thinning out a little bit. Envoy gets killed. The stun, he tossed on. And then, yeah. Sib Sib gets cleaned up, cleans up Mercules. right outside of P1, as you guys can see on the mini map. He died right here. Dashy, of course, gets stunned over here, just trying to hold down this little cubby area and just fire over towards here to keep them from flooding the hill. Must have been really weak.
I feel like Hoop was the most vocal for sure. Like,
Hoop,
he was
or
commanding
Shotzi
that,
gets
but, like,
one,
what stood
and
out to me
then
was a
the
couple
mates
cops.
just occupy. Well, they
They
try to take the rest of the scrap. OpTic floods. Mercules gets 2. Hoop gets 1. And that's how. What the hell?
Yeah, I think that really stands out with their current overload.
And then Paris
Just the way
Chow
the
old
spawns are
for
currently, the
that
actor on
scrap
stream
time.
they are.
I mean, I get it because you're trying to get
Situational awareness
P4
has to be
spawns.
first in, will be Paris.
So Paris, they got the P4 spawns.
Pressure on the break about the build for
OpTic.
They have a one-on-one on the other side of it. Awkward
The
timing.
break
It
is
looked like for
mounting,
Hook
but
on
they
the
just
mini-map, he gets shut
they just
down,
hit
so
one on
one side of it
one.
dealt with.
Shotzi bails them out with an insane 2-piece to make this a 2v2 in the hill. Well, a 3v2 now that these guys are approaching and Envoy, I'm sorry, Ghosty and Neptune are off spawn.
Nice pickup on tunnel there by Shotzi to make
So,
sure
oh, Dashy gets a big 2. He clears the hill.
they are pinched and dropped, and it leads to Dashy getting a double. Nice pickup by Shotzi. Nice gunfight wins for
Oh my
Dashy.
god, this
And you've
pistol's
gotten
insane.
into at least contest,
So,
but
yeah,
you're lucky for
OpTic,
the
they
second time.
just
These are the
have
ones we're kinda talking
the
about,
death
right?
set
I
up
mean,
right
you have
now.
these opportunities versus OpTic, and then Dashy just gets a 2-piece through the wall, and then they flip the spawns. That was your chance if you were Paris. You
Damn,
did such a good
Paris
job.
winning those
End of-
gunfights,
end of
winning their ones.
P3, flipping them, yeah, finding the early kills, but Dashy, the difference maker, continue to fight for the scrap. But yeah, that keeps it at this lead.
Chances for Paris. But OpTic
Damn.
simply too
Damn.
good. Staying in front and getting closer to the closeout. Final
Yeah,
seconds,
I mean,
Hardpoint
a
taking
lot of
away to
times
get
it just
back
gets
to
mixy at
mid-map
this
in
level.
our
That's why I
next
wasn't
set.
really breaking that one down
Going to
too
break
much.
loose. Heads have
So
to
you go
turn.
back to the
Repositioning has to
P1. P1 is P1. You know, it's
OpTic
usually
finding
pretty
success, but the nice
heavily
reposition comes in
contested.
for Paris. The two
Mates,
players
they were able to
remaining,
just make this
able
one
to go massive,
interesting
and that's
by
a huge moment to keep them in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you
just
pretty
getting
much
OpTic out of the hill.
Shooting has to have back to mid-map in our next set.
So you go to P1.
Going to break loose. Heads have
You got
to
all the gel-mate pressure here. You have Civ getting a big 2-piece on Dashy
turn.
and Hoop.
Repositioning has to happen.
And then Ghosty gets one on Merc here.
OpTic finding success,
Clear out
but
the
nice
hill.
reposition comes in for Paris. The two players remaining able to go massive.
Heated
And that's
up.
a huge
Ghosty.
moment to keep them in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty
Sorry,
much do
Envoy.
before that, right? I mean, you have to get off the hill time.
So
Right, you
OpTic
deal
is able to
with some
reflood
of the map
this,
pressure, but
just
then
break it
spawn,
through
who's gonna
1v1
find
wins.
you?
I mean,
Never
Yeah,
mind.
everyone going to die.
that's
now.
just one
Yeah,
of your
like,
ones.
This effort out of Civ and scrap time while
Let's see if.
Trying to go
Okay,
vertical,
so
has the
mates,
crossfire,
they
the
can't
trade
break
there.
P1, but they do have
Ghosty that will
P2
get it
spawns.
done.
Well, they do break P1
Playing from
with
the back
no
will
time
be
left to
Civ.
spare.
He's the space you'd like currently.
Yeah, I mean, nobody
But they have
watches
P2
the
spawns,
full pinch
so
there. That's
let's see
kinda
how
the
long they can hold them.
questions we're having with this Paris team. Just some of the fundamentals seem to be gone. Who just goes on a full pinch, is able to find a 2-piece, and then things get messy. So you do not have your setup. And now OpTic get a break.
Break after break after break. OpTic continue to make them pay. 20 points away from the victory and plenty of time to get it done on this particular hard point. Pressure down to Paris to break, contest, to do anything.
Is this
but
where the
they're
game
finding
ends? I
no
don't think so.
opening
I feel
anywhere.
like this game goes pretty deep.
Mercules is just trying to stay up. Give himself a favorable match.
Maybe it
for the
doesn't.
gunfight, goes high,
No, it doesn't
wins
go that deep.
beautifully done. They can
Okay,
team
so it's
save
the other
it
hard
as
point.
well. He is beaming. A triple to shut it down. Map 1 is done. OpTic hold on and close it out.
Yeah, and they've been pretty good at it. His first bludgeon to go Mercules' way. He's going to continue to go. And Paris, they have no.
All right, so we'll include this in this
You know, the
week's
setup,
match
you're gonna-
just because
They get a spawn.
I already
Like,
filmed
the
it,
problem
but
It's like you're fighting
usually I like to put closer hard
split
points.
one out, and you,
Alright, so we're on Scar HP. This is the hard point that I really wanted to check out because this one actually ended up being close. Yeah, let's just get into it. I mean, hey, I'll just react to both of them. You know, more content's never bad for the library and for you guys out there on YouTube, so it is what it is.
Neptune and man, if Sib starts to come alive, because Sib has not had a great series so far, but well, if you watch that grand final, Sib is
So,
on point.
as you
He
guys
is
can
one
see,
of the
mates
more
are holding
lethal
down the
players in
P1.
league, while
OpTic
Sib
is,
popping off.
well, okay. What the helly? They flip spawns that fast?
So far, so good for Paris.
OpTic spawning over here, right? They have
Man,
these
if Sib starts
spawns.
to come alive, because Sib has not had a great series so far, but well, if you watch that grand
They got the
final, when
P2
Sib is
side
on point,
spawns.
he is one
But
of the
then,
lethal players in
Sib
the
gets a
league,
kill
while
in the
Sib is
back, and he
popping
flips
off
the
right
spawns.
now.
Neptune
5
spawns
straight
at
for him from the
P2.
start. All the
And
time,
then
this has been a
they go from
very,
having
very
bad
good
side
opening
spawns to
P1.
getting good
It's a
side
tough
spawns,
part, though,
which
right? You get
is
so
tough.
aggressive with Neptune,
Civ
and
starts
you
out
split
5-0,
one
but then
out, and you
OpTic,
kinda
they get
saw
the good side
arrows
spawns
returning
again. It
back
flips
and forth,
right
yeah.
back.
And yeah, you did spawn out Dashy.
So.
You couldn't read it. You didn't know where he was. And now you get a chance here for OpTic to win this P2 rotation.
Yep, it's one of those risky routes that sometimes pay off and
So
sometimes
OpTic looks pretty good on the P2 roto.
Yeah, you just have to hard block, but I don't
Right?
think they were. Yeah, obviously
They have a good enough setup, but it's a weird setup. Mates could definitely break it.
Taking those risks, they're a little more calculated. You know you got
But OpTic, they're able to hold it, right? They look good.
positive start early, and he's not missing a bullet.
Damn,
The streak
Dashy.
continues.
Sib and Ghosty are able to find a couple of kills, but you kind of had them spawning all
hello,
the way back
entire
green,
team.
and there is the entire team. 15 seconds left.
Alright,
Pirates are
so
flying at this, trying
let's
to
use
flip the
rotating to
map before we
P3.
get
So
to P3,
looks
but
like
I
T's
think
going,
that's what
two's going to
He's
P3,
just shouldering,
T's
seeing
going to
nothing,
P3.
shouldering, seeing nothing. Especially
So
with
Sib's
17
rotating to
seconds
P3,
left.
a little bit
White
surprising.
Shells,
Usually
and
expect
literally the
Nep or
whole
Envoy to do
roster's
that,
red
but
dot.
hey, next man up, right? Damn.
Paris don't get a flip.
So OpTic was the
OpTic
next
will
man up,
get in.
evidently,
Because they
and
go
that's why
at
they're
that
able to flood
P2
the
with
hill.
16 seconds left, right? You don't win the rotation, so you're not in recovery there from General Mates.
Yeah, that's about as actually good as it can get from that position because it could have gotten very, very.
So Mates broke from the
we're saying
front.
things were perfect for OpTic. It's a map.
Mates hold this whole time? No, they don't.
Scary spot. Envoy come up with some big ones.
Shotzi's pops a big two-piece.
The problem is that shots.
That's just what it is playing OpTic. Like they don't have to make the best breaks. They don't have to really have good setups. They don't even have to have good strats. They can just bail themselves out.
Spawns for P4, but they had no idea. They're not looking.
They're just that good, bro. They can just bail themselves out at will.
Yeah, he jumped over your head.
Insanity.
He's a wee grasshopper. 30-point advantage now for OpTic. Guess the good thing
Imagine no matter what position you're put in as a team, you can just bail yourself out and win. Like, that's gotta be crazy. So now they're flooding for P4. After getting all that P3 time, Mates just had the resistance of like a piece of paper and a glass of water. Just absolutely dissolved. Dashy, I mean, he's 18 and 6. He blacked out. Anyone who took his under in this map was absolutely crying at this point. Imagine you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take the Bruce under.
Doesn't get punished. If Shotzi doesn't jump over his head, I mean, we're talking some crazy swings within the early going. Shotzi's just very good at movement. Guy's got a pogo stick. What can I say? He's a rabbit in more ways than one. Up 70 now.
Yeah, I had to include that clip. Shotzi's got a pogo stick in more ways than one. Like, anyways, we're talking about this P4 and how OpTic was absolutely running it. Alright, well, OpTic got the majority of that P5 time. That was just a really good hold from them. Not really a lot to take away from it. P1, Mates, I mean, they've been getting fried. They've had a lot of time to think and just reposition. So Mates, they got the P1 locked down. OpTic, they got weird P1 spawns.
If you're Paris, you just aren't full blocking blue again. You like threw your arms up in the air. It's like it splits again for OpTic, and they end up breaking.
Yeah, I mean you're putting
They broke
yourself in
with
some
no
solid
effort.
positions here if you Paris. You do recover.
But then Paris
when you
gets a
can.
big 3 kills.
But like just breaking into this lead, it's been tough, right? I mean, just some of these.
Damn.
Plays, but Sib is shooting. We saw he was on a 7 spree during that listen-in. And now you got a chance here at this P2. Here's another chance. All right, you're full blocking. You have this setup. You have the rotation. Can they turn this into a lead?
I thought Nade's gonna do damage. The second one doesn't connect though. Oh, I thought
Damn,
that was
bro.
gonna be a kill. Not gonna walk away with one.
Damn.
30 points down.
Damn.
Chipping away at the lead. Paris looking for a much-needed victory here to avoid a.
Alright, so OpTic, they get the rotation to
Comes out
P2.
I'm gonna go play our side. I'm gonna break, bro.
Inner time shots are really weak.
I'm flanking fire, okay? How many times?
So they get the rotation to P2 here.
Hold on. Nice. I'm with top five.
Laying down art. Too long.
I'm guessing Mates break it from the back, right?
Really big on you guys.
Nice. Top out. Top out.
On some Bane shit.
Nice.
Break the back.
Nice. Good shot. Good shot.
Top of intercept.
So they don't get much time from they don't get much scrap time from this. Okay, OpTic gets the majority of the scrap.
In ticket. Arson ticket in.
Okay, so they rotate to P3. Looks like they're getting a lot of the kills in P3.
All for front, guys. All for front. I'm one shot. You're already low. Already low.
Envoy and Shotzi going band for band. 14-20 versus 14-21. Oh, never mind. Shotzi's 18-24. Now Envoy's 18-25. Or 17-25. These guys are on the same pace. That's crazy. They're having
Envoy,
like
though,
basically the
on his
exact
back,
same game.
Can't find any more. OpTic have kept this messy, and they're the ones picking up the time. And where Paris, we talked about the fact they got slayed by 35 and won a hard point. This has been the opposite.
So,
as you said, have not been able to turn kills.
They're getting good time in this
Yeah,
P4.
well, that
They're getting a
was
good
just- I have
hold.
to credit Hook.
They just gotta kill Hook and then they're good.
Again,
Yeah, true.
He continues to
That should
kinda
be the
get
rest of their
lost. You
scrap.
always look
But
at
they
the
got
map,
them
Humbol's
spawning in
a
the
good
back.
position to rotate. But this is a big 14, and OpTic just going to take this. I'll put them right around 225, 25 points away from getting us to a map.
Okay, so
Nice play from
wow,
Ghosty.
Ghosty gets a big 2. Now he's
Give
on
him a
6.
chance to really have a cushion here on the next hard
No, this has
point.
been a great series for him.
It has.
It reminds me of what we saw out of stage 1 out of
100%.
Ghosty.
100%. Well, the problem
Shotzzy.
is he hops over one, and now Shotzzy is in behind your setup, and Shotzzy might tear this entire setup across. It looks like a good Envoy, but Shotzi's
Okay.
gonna get dropped.
That's
So
gotta just
Shotzzy
be
gets
our
around the
who we
flank.
missing.
Yeah,
Somebody turn.
probably.
Somebody turn. More
I'm guessing
Shotzzy.
he's behind us.
Yeah.
If Ghosty can get a streak here, maybe it'll be massive.
So you got
and a
Ghosty.
comeback. Ghosty will get the streak. His teammates
Gets
will
a
pick
streak
up
at
the
the
kills he
P5.
have. The Hellstorm to work with. Now
They're
down
holding it.
30. Hold up, we're not
Game's
done
getting
yet.
close.
And then they react quickly. They understand
Obviously, you got
spawns
OpTic
towards
spawning in the
back.
back. I'm
Just sort of
spawning
sit
close.
playing Eddie Mercules, though,
As per
a
usual.
little bit cuts.
They break a
Now, what
little
do you
bit through the
wanna do,
front.
Do you want to use the Hellstorm, or are you just going to trust your P1
Then, you know, you gotta
setup
rotate
and then
back to
use it there
P1.
if you need to?
If you're
It looks like
OpTic.
they're just going to go, and now it's all about this rotation. The problem is, though, they need to find kills. Inside of Delhi is already hooked, and well, they flip.
Shotzi able to find
They
one.
flip.
Streak comes up empty, and Shotzi's
Now they're
gonna
in
get right
P1.
into the point. He's got Hoop there to work with. Shotzi continues to find kills in volume. OpTic doing enough to get us to a map 5. One
Sib gets
more
a big
sequence
2.
of kills, and we are done. Shotzi locks
And
it
that
down.
should be the
Dashy
game.
right there with him. OpTic clutch up map 5. Here we
Yeah,
go.
so that's how we got all the way to a game 5 between the Paris Shellmates and OpTic Texas. Now, if you guys missed any of the rest of the series, as you can see, obviously based on what we just watched, that has been highlighted and posted on the channel. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that if you're new here. And yeah, I will be posting more CDL highlights on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, as well as Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week for Major 2 in beautiful Birmingham, England. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Much appreciated, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Like I said, I hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I always say, and I'll see you guys there. Peace.